They're just flying.
Hello, fellow watchers. We're watching whatever. I'm Nathan, and joining me here is Danny. We are back here today for One Punch Man episodes 3 and 4. So, again, I've seen this. I've watched both seasons. I've read the manga, up to the furthest point that it had at the, which was like a month ago that I last read it, and so I am familiar with everything. Danny has, this is his first time watching this show. He's never read the manga, so everything here is new for him. So last we saw in episode 1 and 2 was we got introduced to Saitama and Genos, and we can see how crazy strong Saitama is, and how a lot of these villains and characters that we saw in here were just kind of like the crab guy. He became that way because he ate a bunch of crab, right? The and then we saw the mosquito girl she was a creation of this organization, the House of Evolution, and we saw the lion thing, the armored gorilla, the mole, all those different things. So we ended it there. Okay, and so that's where we're gonna start at. And anything you want to say?
No, I mean, I think right now, like, it's hard for me to kind of. There's no one character that I really kind of like love or am rooting for, and I think that's kind of the point at right now. I think they're really trying to just kind of show us like the absurdity of like this type of series. Like I was just telling my wife like about the show, and I was saying like yeah, like they kind of make fun of like origin stories. Because in the first episode, some dude turns into a crab guy because he just ate a lot of crab, and yeah. So I mean, right now, like I'm not like emotionally invested in any way, but it's still really super entertaining and ridiculous and funny. So yeah, looking forward to it.
Yeah, and I'll say Genos is he was a character that for me more annoyed me because of he's supposed to be like the character who is very well intentioned and good, right? He's
Right,
kind of like our like Tanjiro from Demon Slayer, right? Just
right,
really good hearted all around. But at the same time,
right,
they made his character so annoying because he takes everything so literally and he talks so much.
right. Yeah, right.
So
He's always like explaining way too much.
yeah,
Yeah, that one episode, he's like, "I don't care. Like, are you still talking?" He's like, "Oh, yeah, that was funny."
yeah, he basically
Yeah,
does a monologuing kind of style of you see
right,
from other
right.
animes. So I think that's where
Yeah,
maybe they're joking and making fun of that
right,
too.
right. Yeah, that's
So, but
hilarious.
we're gonna start episode 3 here in just a second. Before we do, like to remind everyone on YouTube to please remember to like and subscribe, leave us your comments, and check us out on our Patreon. You can go to patreon.com/watching whatever. Watch our full length reaction of both episodes along with your copy. We're watching this on Disney Plus. Excuse me. And for our Patreon viewers, thank you very much for being here with us and watching along with us and showing us your support. We are thankful to all of our viewers, everyone who is on here, whether from YouTube or Patreon. We're very happy to have all of you along with us. So, with that said, here we are going to start the anime here.
彼が常日頃吐き出す思想について認める者は誰一人としていなかった。
It's like the typical villain backstory.
何が危ない考えだ。変人扱いしやがって。
まず彼は若さを手に入れた。自分のクローンを作り出した。
They've all got that emo haircut.
数えきれないほどの動物実験を繰り返しては新種を作り出し。
話が長い。
I forgot.
すいません。
That's hilarious.
I totally forgot it was a gorilla that was narrating
Like
everything.
narrating the story. It's hilarious. Yeah, that's one thing that's really funny. They like go contrary to all our expectations in terms of like storytelling and like the tropes and stuff.
Yeah. You know, one thing I like
So
about
are all the
anime-
kind of creatures that he fights from this dude's like lab or?
I'll let you. I'm not gonna say what it is.
Okay.
I don't want to ruin anything, but I was gonna say one thing I like about anime is their intro theme music. They tend to usually go with a lot of like rock metal style.
Yeah. Right.
先生の人類を超越した肉体を進化の研究に利用しようと企んでいるようです。
よし行くか。
今？
ああ、明日は特売日だから。旧人類撲滅用精鋭戦力が全滅しただと。アシュラカブトを解き放つ準備をしておけ。まずは地上1階から8階まで無数の罠を仕掛ける。
So it's like a video game.
Kind of reminds me of what's that Bruce Lee movie?
Oh yeah. Into the Dragon?
Was it the one where he's going up the tower and he fights like Kareem?
Yeah. Wait, is it? What's the other most famous one?
You have Return of the Dragon.
Oh my god. Oh, I feel like we're not even real Asian Americans right now, man.
I know. It's just been so long.
Yeah.
We'll look for it after. But if someone wants to put in the comments which one that was, I just remember he's in the yellow jumpsuit and.
8階建てくらいはあるな。
Must be a He just blows up the whole thing?
It blew up the whole thing.
地下への蓋っぽいな。
He just peels it
He
back.
just peels it like a can. Like a can of tuna.
いや、アシュラカブト。元気にしてたかい。俺はお前らの求めた新人類の完成形なんだぜ。
Isn't that the ones with the horn on their head? Aren't they like the rhino beetles or something like that?
Alright.
何としても入手したいサンプルがある。だが、遅い。
2体ほどこちらに近づいてきます。
おーい、いたいた。2匹いるけど。
Scaring the guy.
ジャノスおい。俺はアシュラカブトってんだ。上等だ。まだ生きてやがったのか。
Here we go with Genos again. Somehow he reminds me of Krillin.
いや大丈夫じゃないだろその頭。随分と俺を期待させる演出してくれるじゃねえか。
He wants a real fight, right?
Yep.
確か15歳の時だ。あの時私は人類を進化させ、我々新人類のみで構成される新たな世界。
Isn't that what like AI is going to be?
ほら、とっととかかってきな。全力でな。
How does his hair turn into a fro? That's my question.
わかる。
He's gonna one-shot him, huh?
逃げた。あの柱兜が隙だらけなのに、俺の直感が大音量で危険信号を発している。それほどまでの力、一体どうやって手に入れたんだよ。ジェノスもよく聞いとけ。続けることだ。どんなに辛くてもな。腕立て伏せ100回、上体起こし100回、スクワット100回、そしてランニング10キロ。これを毎日やる。
That's it? That's hilarious.
足が重く動かなくなってもスクワットをやり、腕がプチプチと変な音を立てた。変化に気づいたのは1年半後だった。俺はハゲていた。ハゲるくらい死に物狂いで己を鍛え込む。それが強くなる唯一の方法だ。
あなたという人は。ふざけないでください。通常レベルだ。
秘密を教える気がねえってなら構わねえぜ。ただしムカつい
It's
た
like a he looks like one of the creatures from
ラッシュラモード。
that weird ass show that I always watch and never understand.
こうなるともう丸1週間は理性が飛んで放送本能が静まることはない。
Oh, Evangelion. He
Oh,
reminds me of one of the
なぜ俺は大変なミスを犯したのかもしれない。このまま丸1週間放送を続けるだと。つまりは今日も土曜って。
he's gonna miss his sale.
ということは今日がスーパーの特売日じゃねえか。何を言っている。
おそらく先生はこのことを気にされている。先生、閉店は22時です。
行くぞジェロス。
はい。
変わるべきは私なんだ。
It's hilarious.
so I realized there is like a little snippet at the end.
Oh, okay.
Usually it leads on into the next episode.
I see.
So we'll wait for that.
Okay. Yeah, it's hilarious because I mean we're only 3 episodes in, so I mean I'm not really used to it yet.
Mhm.
But I get how like they constantly make us feel like, oh, maybe something really epic is gonna happen or whatever, but then he just one shots them, right?
Yeah.
Like, oh, maybe this is the time when like he faces a real challenge, but then they make a joke out of it. Like,
Yeah. The whole time he's getting
Yes.
beat up, it's just he's thinking about the sale he's gonna miss.
right. It's hilarious.
But I liked it because the first several episodes, it was really meant for us to get to know the character.
Right.
And then later on, as it builds, it starts developing into the whole world of that he lives in.
はい、今現地で調査していますが、おそらく例の若いサイボーグと考えて間違いないかと思います。しかしえげつない威力だな。
ああ、
You can see where it's starting to show like all the credit is gonna go to Genos.
Right. They think he's kind of like the super powerful being or whatever.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right, so we're gonna go on to episode 4 here. Hey, fellow watchers, don't forget to like and subscribe, and check us out on our Patreon. Links are in the description below. And now back to our program.
なぜ働かなければいけないのか。なぜ金を払わないと飯が食えないのか。我々は断固働きたくない。理想郷を実現させるのだ。このハンマーヘッド率いる桃源団が。ボス、誰も聞いてません。豪邸など不平等の象徴だ。
I would probably join this group.
Don't want to work. Everyone else works to support you. Isn't that basically like a dictator?
Yeah, it's kind of like a socialist revolution, but he's already skipped to the part where he's the dictator again.
Yeah.
許せん、破壊しろ。エース。どうさい。
It looked like one of those where like you just take out someone's leg and they just twist and fall.
さすがは新開発されたバトルスーツだ。あ、このマンション違った。失敗は誰にでもある。
ありがとう、自転車のお兄ちゃん。
Is this another part of his crew? I feel like I saw him in the credits somewhere.
Yeah, he was in the credits.
F 市で暴動を続けるテロリストは桃源団と名乗っており、
今回は俺が行くまでもねえな。
構成員の頭はスキンヘッドで統一され、非常に危険な雰囲気に包まれ。
They all look like him.
俺とかぶってん。 じゃねえか。こいつは本気でぶっ飛んでやがる。
待て悪党ども。正義の自転車乗り無面ライダー参上。
This could be you, a bicyclist for justice.
行くぞ。ゼニール様お逃げください。その必要はない。
おお、ソニック君、君に任せても平気なのかね。
待ってたぞハンマーヘッド。俺は今まで戦った相手を生かして返したことはない。
They're just flying. Oh,
Every single one of them.
俺が見えないんだろ。
テロリストだ。
俺は違う。
岩はまだまだたくさんある。俺を止めないとどんどん飛んでくるぞ。
まっすぐに。
もらったー。愚か者めが。
ハンマーヘッドの死体もここだ。では今から
ああ、危なかった。奴が刺したのが頭でよかった。
俺は相手の力を見誤ってしまったのです。油断した俺は。
Genos is being rebuilt.
しかし無事でよかった。
博士。
Looks like a penis tip.
なんだお前、桃源団に入りたいのか。
一身上の都合によりお前らをぶっ潰すわ。がっかりだな。バトルスーツってのに少しワクワク。
俺もフルパワーをぶつける実験台が欲しかったところだ。
they always like transform and then you
It's that
think like, oh,
whole-
maybe this time it'll be something.
Yeah. And it's that whole Dragon Ball feel, right? They always
Right.
upgrade.
Right.
Super Saiyan mode.
He's still super buff.
Yeah.
まだ残党がいたとはな。
ハンマーヘッドならあっちに行ったけど全裸で。なんだこりゃ。おい違うぞ。俺は桃源団の仲間じゃねえよ。
その頭では言い逃れできないな。お前は俺の技を2度も見切った。それが問題だ。幼少の頃から技の研鑽を重ねてきた。
Long speech.
Another monologue.
お前はただ自分の技を試したいだけだろ。その無邪気な笑顔見りゃわかるぜ。
The innocent smile.
Psychotic. Innocent smile.
まあ
Oh.
こいつ風神逆。
チェックメイト。
You see it slowly moving and shifting.
音速のソニック。だが仕事はしばらくお預けだ。埼玉、次に会った時がお前の最後だ。
あ、
音速のソニック。
Oh, you
誰ですか。その頭痛が痛いみたいな名前の人物を。
いきなり現れてライバル宣言して去っていった。俺は重大な問題に気づいてショックを受けてる最中だ。
It's gonna be something trivial, right?
知名度が低い。今まで たくさん怪人だの悪の軍団だのを退治してきた。
He took out that giant, he took out the Piccolo looking thing, House of Evolution, but no one knows him.
もっとファンとかいても不自然じゃないだろう。無面ライダーというヒーローのおかげであると報道していたな。
Newman Rider.
ヒーロー名簿に登録してないんですか？いくら個人で活動していても自称ヒーローでは妄言を吐く変態。
Hentai.
登録しようぜ。一緒に登録してくれたら弟子にしてやるから。行きましょう。
スーツの実践データを記録するためにわざわざ泳がせていたんだがな。
丈夫な頭蓋骨に産んでくれてありがとう母ちゃん。
一歩間違えれば俺もあいつみたいになってたのかな。
Okay, so we're getting to see a little bit more of his like inner thoughts, and he does have some serious stuff. Twice he's kind of sympathized with the main villain because he was like, oh, I could have been them, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, remember because it showed his backstory, like he was trying to find a job, but he couldn't find one. Right, he couldn't land a job, so it could have turned out to where he joined a group like them and then had his head cut off by Sonic. So now he's gonna apply for the Hero Association. It's interesting how in the beginning the theme song is such like a rock, metal sound, and then at the end here it's like a ballad, poppy ballad.
Is it like that for all the shows?
I want to say, I think for a good amount of them they're kind of like that.
So you can appeal to like many people.
I guess.
It was like some kind of hero con or something.
Hero test location.
Test location. That's hilarious.
Like Danny had mentioned earlier, we're getting a little bit more. We're seeing a little bit more of his inner thoughts and how, for him it was just, he's a hero for fun. Like he didn't try to kill Hammerhead or anything. He's just kind of doing stuff just out of boredom at this point and trying to find someone who can be a challenge for him, I guess.
Right.
So overall, it still shows that he's not like a bad guy, right?
Right.
He takes on the
he's
monsters.
Not just like a bloodthirsty like murderer or whatever. Yeah, right. So he sympathizes with these guys who are kind of like lost or whatever, right? Society often kind of feels no sympathy for these kind of especially like young men who don't have jobs. Like they're like pretty like bottom of the totem pole type people. Right?
But it was funny because at the same time so when it showed his past, he understood a threat, right? When something was trying to kill him and hurt him. But now as he's become so strong, it's almost like to him the threat doesn't exist anymore.
Right.
When Sonic tried to twice threw the kunai at him and then his sword right at his eye.
Right.
He just kind of caught it and he's like, what's going on? Rather than you're trying to hurt me, it's just like, what are you doing?
Right. Yeah. That's pretty amusing. He basically is like the existential crisis for like everyone who thinks they're badass. They see him, they're like, what's the point? Like, I gotta go back and train or whatever. Or like Genos or whatever is like, teach me.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's hilarious.
But yeah, you see Saitama's character, right? I mean, even when he was fighting Sonic, it wasn't even like he was fighting him. All he did was put up his fist.
Right.
Sonic landed his nuts on his fist. And he's apologizing. He's like, I'm so sorry. Like, it just you got in the way and you jumped on it.
That's hilarious. It's pretty funny.
Oh, man. So, so next week or next episode, we're going to see him doing the Heroes test, right? To join the Heroes Association. What do you think is going to happen there?
I mean, he's gonna fail, right? That has to happen. Where like he has to fail, and then maybe he starts his own. Maybe that's where he gathers up all these like weird like characters, and they all kind of join his group or something. I think that might be. I don't know. That's my guess. Because it seems like too like easy for him to just go and take a test, and like now he's like a hero or whatever. There's got to be some kind of challenge. So I feel like he's gonna fail, and so he starts his own. Maybe I don't know. But
Yeah, that'll be interesting.
yeah. I mean, I feel like this is like almost a realistic version of like what an OP like character would feel, you know? Like I mean, Superman like
An
this
OP
is probably
character
how
who has because Superman was just like the, he was like what's the word for it? You have chaotic evil, and then you've got something
neutral
lawful good,
Oh
lawful
right,
good,
the
right?
opposite is lawful good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But this guy, he's not like, he's just kind of like, he's a good guy, but at the same time, he's not so, everything has to be stand up for justice and doing right.
Right.
So I think that's where the difference is with him. Is it's a little more
Right.
realistic in that aspect, right? Of a super
Right.
OP guy who's like, I just want to be a hero for fun, and I want to find someone who can challenge me because I got too strong.
Right. Yeah. Like does he have a kryptonite? So far like we haven't seen any weakness. Like it will I'll almost be disappointed if they introduce some kind of kryptonite. Unless it's like super funny, you know? But yeah, like all right. So I'm thinking like where does the challenge come then?
So that's
It
where
has to
I
be
was.
internal. Yeah, the conflict has to be internal. That's what it is, right?
So that's where I was saying, I was telling you about this, where one thing I liked about it is, even though he's the main character, the story doesn't really revolve fully around him all the time, right?
Right.
He's kind of the standout from the rest of the cast, who is
Right.
more of, they have the weaknesses, they have the issues, they have to do all this kind of stuff.
Right.
So I forget what the author was saying, the writer of this manga was saying about it, but yeah, he made Saitama to be a satire character for superheroes.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, yeah, obviously like but like one thing about like a main character, we kind of judge it on whether they are like a static character or a dynamic character, right? And when many times like like our favorite characters are those characters who like despite like deep flaws or whatever kind of overcome these obstacles and become a better version of themselves, right? That's like inspiring for anybody, and like right now so far I can't really imagine like well I guess I can't imagine where One Punch Man's journey is gonna go. Like,
yeah,
we'll
we'll find out later as far as what his journey is gonna be and everything.
Okay, yeah.
But again, the writer kept him his story more simplistic because it is really about everyone around him.
Right.
It's more about the growth of the people around him rather than his own growth.
Right.
Because he's kind of at the pinnacle as far as a superhero goes.
Right.
So.
Yeah, I mean it's interesting. I'm interested to see more of in every episode. I'm looking forward to some hilarious villain get one punched, one shotted to death.
Surprisingly, Sonic didn't get blown up.
Right.
Technically, he didn't punch him. He landed on his fist.
Right. Yeah, he just got his like nuts rearranged.
The slow motion of it just moving.
That's hilarious, man.
I know that feeling too. Oh, man. All right. So we're going to end it off here. That was One Punch Man episode 3 and 4. So we've gotten a little bit more into the character now and getting more familiar with the story here. For everyone, again, who was watching on YouTube, please remember to hit that like button, hit the subscribe, and leave us your comments. yeah, we have a couple of questions here about the show and about the character, and like Danny was asking, is there any other character on other shows that is like Saitama, or is this kind of just a complete one-off that there's nothing else like it? Um, and for everyone on Patreon, again, thank you for being a subscriber. Thank you for watching along with us, and listening to our discussions and our talk as we watch this show together. So we appreciate all of you. And with all that, we are going to end the show here. So we'll see you next time for One Punch Man episode 5 and 6. Bye.